Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we are going to be finding out what happens if you shoot at Dutch instead of Micah at the end of the epilogue in Red Dead Redemption 2. So I've been having a ton of fun experimenting with the various strangers and side missions, and even diving into sort of the story mode missions like what we're doing now. And today, we're going to be finding out what happens if you decide to shoot at Dutch instead of Micah. So if you want to try this out for yourself, you're going to want to load up the mission American Venom, which is the final mission of Epilogue Part 2. So as I'm sure you guys know by now, essentially in American Venom, you as John and Sadie and Charles end up finding out that Micah is located on the top of Mount Hagen. And essentially, it is your job to fight your way through waves of his gang that's up at the top of the mountain. And you eventually make it to where his hideout is. Sadie becomes injured. Charles actually gets shot by a sniper at the base of the mountain. And so it's a pretty tough journey to ultimately get to the top. However, once you clear out all of the gang, you'll find that there's only one structure left. And this is where you'll actually find Micah. And before this showdown takes place, you enter a cutscene that sort of sets up the entire premise of what's going on. I'll let you guys take a listen to that right now.
Micah, if you're here, come out.
Hello, Scarface. Did you miss me?
Not much.
Been a few years. How's that, whore of yours?
She's good. Didn't reckon I should waste my time killing you. But I felt different.
So it seems. Well, maybe after all this is over, I'll go pay her a call. And the boy.
Whatever you say.
So Micah comes out of that big shed right there, and he ends up firing at you. And then you have a little bit of a standoff. And I actually wanted to do some experiments with this. I was going to see what happens, like if Micah killed you right then and there on the spot, but I'm assuming we would have just respawned, so nothing all that special. And then as your firefight progresses, you'll end up being saved by Sadie, where this cutscene ultimately takes place.
At least die like a man.
Hellfire. It's just like old times.
Come on. You turn around and start walking.
You got me. Just like old times. All manner of folk paying social calls.
Hello, son. Mrs. Adler. It's been quite a while.
Now, John. Now, what were you saying?
So you guys saw there that Dutch sort of ruins the party, and he foils Sadie's plans to actually save John. So now we are at the part where we can do some experimenting, because we are now in a triangle showdown where it's John versus Micah versus Dutch, all aiming their pistols at each other. So I wanted to find out what would happen if you, instead of listening to this conversation, just decided to shoot at Dutch. And my outcomes were kind of interesting. So the first time I shot at Dutch, I wanted to miss him altogether. And I shot right over his right shoulder. And as soon as I did that, he cracked me with a bullet. And that was it. That was kind of cool. I didn't expect that to happen. So if you shoot at Dutch, but don't hit him, he will actually shoot you, which is kind of cool. I wanted to test if that would happen again, so this time I aimed a little bit further away, like super obvious that I wasn't going to hit him, and the exact same thing happened. If you shoot anywhere near Dutch's direction, he'll kill you. So the next time, instead of missing Dutch this time, I wanted to see what would happen if you shot Dutch. So this time, I ended up shooting him directly in the face, and that still didn't faze him. And this time, when I hit Dutch in the face, Micah comes to the rescue, and he actually shoots me and ends up taking me out in one shot. So that was kind of interesting right there. So I wanted to do another experiment. This time, instead of shooting Dutch in the face, I would just shoot him in like the torso. And it's kind of difficult because you don't have a aiming reticle here. So you just sort of have to guess where you're looking at. And again, I shot Dutch in the chest, which caused him to sort of recoil back. And then Micah ended up shooting me, which that is just a cool little thing that I didn't expect to have happen. Now, this next time, I was actually seeing if I could fire sort of in the middle of Micah and Dutch, and what would happen if that occurred, and something weird happened. As I was turning the camera from Micah to Dutch, I fired, and neither of them shot at me, which was kind of strange. So I tried to do the exact same thing, and I ended up hitting Dutch this time, and I got shot by Micah. So you can sort of shoot in the middle of them. It's very difficult, and they won't react to that, which I thought was kind of strange. Now, immediately after that, I wanted to test what would happen if you shot Micah. And as you guys predicted, if you shoot Micah, which does free Sadie, Dutch ends up shooting you right on the spot. So there's no way to expedite this process if that's what you were trying to do. And once again, the same thing happens here. If you end up shooting Micah in the chest or the face or whatever the case is, Dutch will end up saving the day. So I thought those experiments were certainly kind of interesting right there. And there's no way to shoot Sadie. I don't know why you would. Sadie is like the coolest character of all time. But the game won't allow you to pull the trigger if you're aiming at Sadie. So the only way would be to shoot at Micah. Now, I did a couple of other experiments as well, similar to what we did with Dutch. I shot like all around Micah. Even if you shoot above him, he'll actually shoot at you. So again, it's very similar to what happens if you end up firing at Dutch. And then from there, I wanted to actually let the entire cutscene play out because there was another experiment that I wanted to do. And as you guys know, if you go through all the dialogue options, you'll end up getting another cutscene.
You shot me. You shot me pretty good.
So as you guys saw there, Dutch shoots Micah, but we're not done there. The game makes us finish off Micah. So I wanted to know what would happen if you didn't do anything, if you just watched Micah sort of pull up his revolvers. And it sounds pretty obvious, but he shoots both of us. He shoots both Dutch and us, and we are dead. So Dutch does not jump in and save the day if we don't fire. You have to end up shooting at Micah. Now, a lot of these outcomes should have been fairly obvious, especially if you're familiar with the plotline of the first Red Dead Redemption game, where Dutch is obviously the main, or one of the main antagonists in that. So you knew that he wasn't permanently going to die, but the reactions here were really funny. And that's what I had a fun time with. Like, you know, if you shot at him, what would he do? And, you know, the fact that he wouldn't step in and save the day at the end if you didn't end up firing at Micah. And then, of course, that leads to the final cutscene where if you do end up shooting Micah, Dutch just sort of mysteriously walks away after saving your life. And we don't really understand that ending quite yet. We do know that John goes inside, he takes all the money, him and Sadie safely get off the mountain, they return to Abigail, Jack, and Uncle. And for the most part, that is it. Like I said, you don't really see Dutch ever again after that. Even if you were to go to places that you might assume he would maybe end up showing up, like his mother's grave in Blackwater might be a location in which he makes a reappearance, but you never end up seeing him again. So it was sort of a strange outcome, but I did have a lot of fun experimenting with this. I was really trying to think of some other experiments we could do during that scenario, but that for the most part was kind of it. You're not allowed to like pull out any other weapons during that little sequence. You aren't allowed to like not do anything. They'll eventually start talking to you. So there's only a limited amount of things you could do there, but I did find this experiment to be a ton of fun. So anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this. And let me know if you're going to try something like this yourself if you decide to load up the mission American Venom, which of course is the very final mission of the epilogue in Red Dead Redemption 2. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating on this video. That'd be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.